Hey guys, if you've been trying to become successful for a very long time, but every time you just somehow manage to fall short, this video is literally for you. I've struggled with this issue as well for a really long time. I'm in my own journey and I'm about to take off, and this is the main thing that I believe has been holding me back. And I feel like if you can just watch through the entire video, I'm going to cover three main topics, three key concepts basically, which is fear, the fear of success in specific, perfectionism, and procrastination, and how all three are interlinked. And this is the main thing that's holding you back. And unfortunately, this is also the main thing that's holding me back. And it's been a recent unlock for me. So I'm working through this as I speak. And I know that once I reprogram this, I'm going to see heights of success that I've never seen before. And this is the main unlock that I needed. So, this video, hopefully, it helps you. And basically, you have to look at it as interlinked. Most issues you have that are holding you back from success are internal and they're all interlinked. So, procrastination is the act of delaying something until the last minute, until you just have to do it. And you lie around and you think it's laziness, you set plans and delay timelines and whatever, but you never come through and you never meet it, right? And that's procrastination. Perfectionism is having to do everything once everything is perfect, every position is correct, every time is correct. You do something and then you redo it, you upload something, you delete it, and you change it, and you have to redo it. You literally have to make everything perfect, or it like hurts your mind. It irritates you. That's perfectionism. And then the fear of being seen, which is something people don't talk about a lot, but sorry, the fear of success, which is something people don't talk about a lot. Because how could you be afraid of success? Why would you be afraid of success? But fear of success is essentially just the fear of all the side effects of success, because when you become successful, it's not all good, right? There's a lot of bad things associated with it, or at least the things you have associated with it mentally. So what happens is you imagine that if you become successful, xyz things can happen, and those could be a numerous number of things. It can be a fear of being seen, meaning you people see you, you become successful, you become famous, and people see you. A lot of people are seeing you more than maybe you would like. You're afraid of that. There could be a fear of criticism, a fear of judgment, a fear of being exposed, a fear of being humiliated, a fear of being attacked, a fear of being like, just toned down, a fear of a numerous number of things that all go into making a fear of success. So, what a fear of success is actually either a combination or any one of those individual fears. So, a fear of being criticized, a fear of being judged, fear of being misunderstood. Any one of these things can be playing in. And essentially, if you take that one step further, any one of those fears, let's say the fear of being seen, that's just a fear. That's just a fear. So you might have these patterns, and at the base of it, there is this core wound, right? Because what happens if you are afraid, right? What are you afraid of? You're afraid of a certain situation happening, but why? So let's say the example of fear of being seen. You're afraid of being seen because if you are seen, 100,000 people will be seeing you and they will be criticizing you. And if you are criticized, that results in pain, it results in shame. So, what you're afraid of essentially is that emotion underneath it all. You're afraid of that emotion underneath it all. You're afraid of shame. You're afraid of being shamed. You're afraid of feeling like you're inadequate. You're afraid of feeling like you're not same as other people. So you want to avoid that embarrassment and that shame at all costs, but you still want to succeed. So you take all the actions. So you make it as perfect as you can. You try to make the images perfect. You try to make the videos perfect. You try to make the plans perfect. Because if everything is perfect, there is no chance for somebody to be able to criticize you. There's no chance for somebody to be able to attack you or expose you. And if everything is perfect, you have done everything. So you have that control. You have that control over the consequences and what's going to happen. And that control, again, is a fear also of a loss of control. You have a fear of loss of control, and that's why you try to do perfectionism. And when you try to make something perfect, and you try to plan perfectly, and you try to execute perfectly, what happens? It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy, it takes a lot of mental bandwidth, No matter how many times you try, you will be able to come up with, oh, I forgot this, oh, I forgot that, oh, I made this script, I mentioned 100 points, but then let me think about it, I didn't cover this point. And so I found myself struggling with this a lot when it comes to this YouTube channel. I started the YouTube channel, then I stopped, then I took it down, then I started archiving videos because I was afraid of being seen. Then I uploaded the videos, and I started making the videos perfectly, and as perfect as I could. Then I like realized, oh my god, it's not perfect. I'm not able to miss everything, like put everything into one video. So then I started scripting hundreds of points, and I'm like, bro, I can't even say that in one video. The video would be like 10 hours long, and I can't even remember that humanly. So then what would happen is I would make the perfect script, and then I would keep there, and I would just like procrastinate on it. So there's the shame, there's the inner wound, there's the thing that you're trying to avoid, that manifests in a fear of being something, a fear of being seen, fear of being criticized, or whatever, which then becomes a behavioral pattern of perfectionism, you know, which has some positive sides but also mostly negative. And then it becomes into a completely negative behavioral pattern, an acting out pattern, which is procrastination. And so that's why I noticed, I'm like, I have the perfect script, but then I'll delay the video for 2 weeks. And then I'll finally end up filming the video and it won't be as good. It won't be as good. It'll be like 80%. And then I realized, like, okay, there is an issue here. There's a big issue here. And when I started this YouTube channel, I didn't have this issue. I took the camera, you can see the videos, the first videos, it's just me filming, I'm just talking, no script, nothing. And I kept going and I had crazy momentum. But 2 weeks in, I crashed. And then I repeated it, and then I crashed, and then I repeated it. And so that's where I'm like, oh my god, I have this internal issue, this inner conflict. My whole life, I've had this. And the thing is, most people are like this. They take the actions. 99% of you guys all are stuck like this. We take the actions. You realize, okay, perfectionism, I'll beat it through execution. You take all the actions, but the internal world, your inner work, your inner mental self image, and your inner mental comfort zone, and your inner mental ceiling, these things limit you. So, what happens is your identity is of that person who is limited, and all these things, and you have to revert to that. So, there's a lot of concepts, and all these key words that I mentioned are words that you should look up and study. But it essentially comes down to this: who you believe yourself to be inside your mind, that is your mindset. Who you believe yourself to be, that is your self image. It's not who you are, it's who you believe yourself to be inside your mind. That's the person you keep trying to make yourself become in the real life. So no matter how many times you manually override the actions, you essentially end up defaulting back to those patterns, because those are your inner beliefs. Your self image dictates your comfort zone, that dictates your beliefs, that dictates your thoughts, your words, your deeds, your feelings, your actions, and that creates your reality, and that creates your behaviors and your patterns and everything. And that's what keeps you stuck. You cannot force yourself into change. You have to change your inner patterns, your inner mindset, and then you become successful. All the successful people are operating on default, they're operating on autopilot. All of us, we are trying to run against the tide. You're trying, hitting a wall, falling down, getting back up, trying, hitting a wall. If you think about it, all the people that are keeping on trying, like the people who have given up long back, they're okay, whatever, they've given up, they're not even trying. But the people who keep hammering against the wall and falling and hammering against the wall, you see this with small business owners especially a lot. They never become profitable, they never become millionaires, they never break free, they never find success, but they run the same small business for like 30 freaking years. They somehow meet all their ends, they somehow manage to keep the family and feed the kids, and it's a loop. And my success and everything has been like this. And it all comes down to whether you break your mental barriers. That's all it is. Once you break free inside here, you break free outside. And breaking free inside comes down to just this simple thing: there is a self-image inside your mind that you need to rewire, and the only way to do that is to access your subconscious mind. When you go to sleep and right when you wake up, you're in this state called theta state or whatever, that is just It's all, there's too much detail. I don't want to like brain like fuck you, just ruin everything for you. Just take it simply. You need to access your subconscious mind, which is like your inner brain, and your inner brain is active and easy to access when you're very sleepy, in your sleepy states. It can be throughout the day also, but mostly when you're sleepy is when you right after you wake up or when you go to sleep. And so at those times you need to visualize yourself in the most ideal sense. You not having perfection, you doing the YouTube videos and everything working out. Visualize the actions, everything flowing perfectly, everything going correctly, because your brain doesn't know something between real and imagined. And so if you can have an imaginary experience inside your head that is perfect, like actually what you want in your real life, and you do that thousands of times in here, eventually your brain believes you've already experienced it and you act it out in real life. And this is the secret key between all the high performance, all the elite successful people and all the shit people. The elite successful, Michael Phelps, Conor McGregor, Michael Jordan, John Jones, Iman Gadzhi, all these guys, they have elite mindset. And I thought elite mindset was just like, dude, I can do it, I'm the best ever, just saying these things. And yes, saying it is true, but are you saying it throughout the day? Are you saying it when something fails? How do you respond? That's self talk. How do you respond when something happens and these things happen? And so you need to use these different methods to rewire yourself. There's words, because a repeated word is a thought. That a word is a thought. It's like, I'm good. That's a thought, but it's your words, right? So you repeat it, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. That unlocks your life. For me, there was this key time I kept saying, I'm not what happened to me, I'm who I choose to become. I'm not what happened to me, I'm who I choose to become. And that was when, right after I lost everything. And I wasn't even like trying to use affirmations, I was unknowingly performing an affirmation. And that rewired me. I kept saying it hundreds of times and it rewired me. And that changed my belief. And I'm like, okay, I'm not what happened to me, I'm who I choose to become. I essentially believed it. Whatever you repeat, you end up believing. So if it's a lie, you're going to believe it. And if it's a positive lie, you will also believe it. If you say, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, I am a millionaire, if it's believable enough, you will believe it. In the starting, it's like you're lying. You're completely lying. Your brain says bullshit. But if you can move it out with your body and you're like, the emotions are there, and that's what comes to next. It's like the thoughts are there, the words are there, and then the actions and the emotions. If you can feel it like, man, I can do this, I'm the best ever, and you go to like the nice suit shops and you go to all these places, and you force yourself out of your comfort zone and you go into these places, these things are where the change happens. So with perfectionism, what you need to do, and procrastination, what you need to do is, with procrastination, you really need to like just make peace. You need to become aware of all these things and make peace with these uncomfortable feelings. You can meditate and you can do that, and then you sit down every time you're at work. You just like sit. These inner discomfort that I have, that's that self-image and that comfort zone trying to fuck with me. So you sit there and you're like, no, I can handle it. I'm here to work. I'm here to show up. And you can repeat that word like, I'm showing up daily. I'm doing this. I show up daily because I'm a professional. I am a professional. I show up daily. I am a professional. You keep saying that. And you sit there. And then those uncomfortable feelings leave. And then you do the work. And then it's basically like ignoring your mood and following the plan, but you have to rewire that. So you can do that. And with perfectionism also is doing the exact thing. It's like realizing like, hey, there is no perfectionism, there is no perfect plan. You do your best and let go, and you do your best and you let go, and you avoid big blunders, and that's it. This also comes down to another thing, which low self-worth and neglect. It's because if you're not allowing yourself to rest, if you're not allowing yourself to have holidays, if you're not allowing yourself to have breaks, watching movies, eating good food, hanging out with your friends, socializing, if you're being too hardcore, you're eventually gonna like burn out or have these crashes or these cycles. You need to reward yourself with these little things. If you're working 2 hours, take 10 minutes off and watch, like, listen to music. Or if you work 8 hours in a row, then 4 hours at night to just chill, hang out. If you're working 5 days a week, take one day like hardcore with your family or friends. You have to have that balance. That balance can look like imbalance to others, but you need to find a combo for you. That's really what it is. So for me right now, that's what I'm doing, because I've overcome and completed so many different things, and I've realized like I have all the inner beliefs and I have all the inner skills, and all I need to do now is just rewire my mindset so that I stop taking like whatever action I do, I stop tearing it down myself. I stop self sabotage. I stop basically just re bringing my identity into reality, and I bring my new identity into reality. So I hope you guys can like kind of gauge what I've said. There's a lot of methods to rewire yourself, and if you're having the problem of procrastination, which comes from perfectionism, which comes from a fear of one of those things, like fear of being seen, fear of being criticized, fear of being judged, which comes from a core wound of being seen, being shamed for being seen, for being shamed for being who you are. That means you also have a low self worth or a low self love, which leads in behavior. So it's all a loop. You kind of have to understand all of this to rewire it. The best books for this are Psycho-Cybernetics, Release Your Brakes by Jim Newman. I think Awaken the Giant by Tony Robbins also does the trick. I haven't read it, but it could work. There's The Magic of Believing by Claude M. Bristol. There's a lot of books on this. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, you can read that one also. These books really like talk about this stuff, and go hardcore into self-help. That's one of the biggest mistakes I made. Is I focus a lot of learning and skills and like information about the world and everything, but I didn't learn about myself. That's a big mistake I made. Is I didn't do the inner work. But all the things I learned are not wasted. It's still there in my subconscious mind. It's a database now from which I can write, I can ideate, I can execute. But for me to execute it and then build momentum, for me to do it consistently and consecutively, I have to conquer myself. I am the enemy. Alexander said, like, I have met the enemy and it is I. And it really is just that. It really is just that. You can conquer anybody in this planet if you can conquer yourself. And there is no, like, real pride in conquering other people than conquering yourself. The hard one is yourself. And that's the battle I'm having right now. So hopefully this video helps you. This is why you never succeed. It's because in your mind you believe you're not a success. You believe success is not safe. You believe being seen is not safe. You believe having money is not right. You have all these inner beliefs and programs that are running that keep bringing you back to this like broken reality. So you need to like a autopilot, like a thermostat of a plane. You need to like not turn the steering wheel, because as soon as you let go it will come back. Like a ship, you turn the wheel and it goes in one direction, but eventually you come back in the same pattern because the the autocorrect corrects it. Like that, your self image is like that. You just need to rewire that and set it, and then you don't even have to do any actions. That's why these guys who winning, it looks so effortless. Like you see all the best guys. At some day, at some point, I will be one of those guys, and you will see me and you'll be like, what the fuck am I doing that's so special? Why does he have that magic touch? Why does he have that magic thing? And it's because of this mindset thing. And I'm struggling with this because even though I know this, I keep defaulting back to my patterns of not taking this seriously. Visualization doesn't work. Affirmation doesn't work. It's my programming is so fucking strong, is so fucked up, is telling me again and again that even though I have seen this work in my life, I have put it to practice, even though all elite guys swear by it, I'm just like, it doesn't work. And this is the arrogance. It's that arrogance. And this is what the general public and most people really are. It's like, you're like, you just want to do it. And it's not that they're being assholes on purpose. It's just their years of programming is making them, like push it away. And it's one of the weird things you have to, as a leader, have to also understand, is that they're not trying to reject you and they're not trying to like push you away. It's just they cannot see why it works. So yeah, hopefully this video helps you. Good luck.